What is up, YouTube? My name is Eben, and today we are going to look at my Limit1 standard deck. It's Waterbox, and what's Limit1? Well, Limit1 can be a format. It's any format. It can be standard, expanded, unlimited, etc. This one is a standard format deck, and Limit1 just means that instead of a 4-card limit for every card except basic energies, you only get a 1-card limit for every card. So it's kind of like Commander and Magic, or Singleton or Highlander, for those of you who've been playing a really long time. So let's go ahead and take a closer look and see what it looks like. For instance, I can only run one Alolan Vulpix, and I'm running one Alolan Ninetales with the Luminous Barrier and one Alolan Ninetales GX. So this is a nice defensive line, lets me do kind of cool waterboxy things. This thing lets me search things, and that's kind of the theme of this format, is searching and drawing. To kind of get over the fact that you only have one of the things. We got one Lapras for our water box, so we got Collect and some nice attacks along with it. We got Palkia EX to accelerate our energies. We've got Manaphy EX that gives us all free retreat all the way around. We've got Glaceon EX. This thing has been amazingly useful. I thought it was going to be kind of like a very niche card, but actually its Crystal Ray has been super useful when I've been playing with it so far. And one card that I actually managed to sneak in, because in regular games you just can't fit it in normal standard, but here it's been quite useful, is Keldeo. It can get your one-of-water Pokemon back from your discard pile, which is quite amazing, and its Resolute Blade feels kind of like a reverse Zoroark GX, because it's 20 damage and then 20 more for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So it can definitely be a nice one-prize mon that can come in and wreak some havoc. And speaking of Zoroark, we're also running Zoroark GX, and of course we can run one Zorua. Its trait is invaluable, and Riot is Beating is still a really good attack, even with nothing but water energies. And not just because we're in water, but it doesn't hurt that we're in water, we're also running Octillery. I don't think which Remoraid particularly matters, but I'm going with Wild River. It's that draw power to keep us going. Speaking of draw power, we're also running one Oranguru. We're running one Drampa GX. His Righteous Edge attack is quite nice because our opponents can only have one of their special energies as well, of course. So that's a great way to pick them off. Berserk is a good attack, and Big Wheel can be really nice early game to make sure we get what we need. And of course, we're running one Tapu Lele to search for all our one-of supporters. And that's our Pokemon lineup. Pretty fun, pretty straightforward. Our supporters, we're just going to go really quickly through here. Our Sycamore, obvious drawing power. Be careful with that discard, of course, because once you discard things, they're very hard to get back. Cynthia, N, Shauna, Lily, How. Yeah, okay, it is How, it's a draw 3, whatever, but it's actually still really good in this format, because remember, we're just going for anything that'll draw us cards here. We're also running Lass's Special. This is a little-known card. It's very good early game, especially if our opponents rush to fill up their bench with things like Bridget. You just draw a card for each of your opponent's benched basic Pokemon. So mid to late game, against some decks, not as good, but still pretty useful for us and for our purposes. And while I might not be drawing, we also have Bridget. We all know what she does. We got Pokemon Fan Club. We have Ninja Boy. Ninja Boy is pretty useful because he can turn any starter, any one-of starter, to any others. So like, for instance, if you need to get some draw power in, you can turn that, say, that Remoraid that you ended up having to start with into like a Lapras GX or something like that. We're running Crash or Wake because we're water. It's a double computer search. The cost is a little unpleasant, but in this format, it's hard to pass on. We have Skyla, search for any of our one-of items, of course. We have Acerola, just a very nice way to recycle things, keep them from going down, and spare prizes while we're at it. We're running one copy of Lucamine. She'll get our one stadium. We're only running one stadium in this deck. And any one supporter back to our hand. So that's pretty gosh darn useful, because this is about recursion and resource control even more than the normal Pokemon format is. And finally, we're also running our one copy of Guzma, because it's still just a ridiculously good, powerful card. And of course, with our free retreats, thanks to Manaphy EX, Guzma's even better for us. So moving on, we've got our Pokeballs. We've got Ultra Ball, Nest Ball, regular Pokeball, and Great Ball. You could make an argument for making this Great Ball a Timer Ball. I kind of like Great Ball because we do have a lot of basics for the most part, and I kind of think it's ever so slightly more useful, and it's guaranteed to hit. Kind of my same argument on the Pokeball. Well, this is almost guaranteed. I mean, let's be honest. With Pokeball, once again, it's the access to the basic Pokemon, which are kind of important in this deck. You could easily swap either one of them out and be a happy camper, but that's just what I decided to run. Searching things, speaking of which, we've also got Brooklet Hill. This gets all our water types. We don't have any fighting types, but it's a nice way to recruit and set up. This gets us our Remoraid so that we can use one of these Pokeballs to get the Octillery or whatever. Speaking of getting evolutions, we have Evo Soda, because why wouldn't you? Rescue Stretcher, even more useful here than it might be under other circumstances. We have Aqua Patch and Max Elixir to energy accelerate. We've got Random Receiver to kind of help us get the right supporter, because you'll probably have supporters in your hand, but you may or may not have like the ideal one. So this kind of helps you get some kind of other option, basically. And speaking of supporter control, we've also got Pal Pad. We have Super Rod just to control our energies a little bit, make sure we don't run out, and also recur those Pokemon, pretty critical. We've got Choice Band, Fighting Fury Belt, and Float Stone as equipment that we can throw down. Plenty of basics here. This gives us a lot of bulk and whatnot. And we also have Field Blower. This is especially nice because your opponent's tools will also, and stadiums will also be one-ofs. So Field Blower is a very powerful card to use in this format. And finally, our energy is pretty straightforward. We have 2 special energies in this deck. We have Double Colorless Energy, because a number of our Pokemon definitely can use it. And we've also got Splash Energy, which offers us Recursion, which I think makes Waterbox a pretty nice contender in Limit 1 format. So those are our special energies. And then we've got 4, 8, 12 basic water energies, because remember, the only card, just like in a regular game, that doesn't have any limitation is basic energies. You can run as many as you want. And I know 14 seems like maybe a little heavy-handed, but our drawing and searching power isn't 100% ideal, and I wanted to make absolutely sure that we did have the energy and we didn't fall short and like dead draw and not get them. And also we have things like Palkia and Crasher Wake that can kind of pull energies out of our deck a little faster, so that was kind of to balance that out. Definitely give this a try. Build your own Limit 1 decks. Build them for Standard, build them for Expanded, build them for Unlimited, build them for Diamond and Pearl era only, whatever. This is a lot of fun. It's a great way to kind of just mess around with your friends, especially as the competitive season is coming to a close as we enter into the latter part of the summer. If you're not going to Nationals or Worlds, there's not necessarily a whole lot to do competitively. So if you are looking for a way to unwind after a lot of League Cups and League Challenges and just kind of have some fun, but still, you know, really challenge yourself and have a lot of exciting top decks and have to think strategically, but like not necessarily super high pressure and not the same thing every time. There's a really fun format to check out. I may post a video on Limit 1 format. There's not much to it, but I may do that anyway. Let me know down in the comments if that is something you would like. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe, check out my channel for more, and I'll see you next time.